Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. If you're new, I'm Kelly. This is KBellaBeauty, and I have 10 makeup products sitting in front of me that didn't quite meet my expectations. Now, this was a video that was suggested to me by a subscriber like a really long time ago, and it was just in one of the comments of my videos, and she was like, hey, why don't you share products that like you had really high hopes for but you thought were just okay? And so that's kind of what this is here. I have some products in my makeup collection that just, I had an idea in my head of how they were going to be, and they didn't meet that expectation. So they're not necessarily bad. I mean, I didn't declutter them, but they just didn't perform the way I thought they would, if that makes sense. Also, I have to apologize if you hear my dogs running around in the background, but that's just kind of my life. I feel like every time I decide to film, they start playing with each other. They're laying down right now, but you never know what's gonna happen. And then I feel like when I try to stop them during my video, it's more of a distraction than anything. So we're just gonna ignore that if they make noise. But if you wanna hear about some of the products that did not meet my expectations, go ahead and keep on watching. One of the newest products to my collection is this bad boy right here. This is the Natasha Denona Mini Sunset Eyeshadow Palette. Now, I have seen mixed reviews on this eyeshadow palette. There are tons of reviews on YouTube. Some people said that they loved these eyeshadows. Some people said that they didn't love them. I feel like they're just okay. It didn't wow me. It wasn't like blowing my socks off. These aren't the best eyeshadows that I've ever had in my life. They're just okay. But when you hear the name Natasha Denona, like in my mind, I thought that these were going to be like the most magnificent creamy eyeshadows I've ever tried in my life. And I don't have anything from Natasha Denona. I have heard some people say that these mini eyeshadow palettes aren't as good as the full size, and I cannot speak to that because I don't have the full size. But I know that I had high hopes for this guy. I really thought that it was going to be amazing, but it just wasn't, in my opinion. I like it enough. I'm not gonna get rid of it. I'm glad that I got to purchase this little mini and try out her eyeshadows, but I definitely do not have any plans in the future to go on and purchase more of her eyeshadows because these weren't the best thing ever. Like, my Makeup Geek shadows or Anastasia shadows performed better than this guy. So if she did use a different formula or press them differently, I don't really know that that was the best idea because this did not sell me on Natasha Denona. Another eyeshadow palette that I was dying over that I really wanted to get my hands on was by Kylie Cosmetics, and this is the Blue Honey palette. I had been wanting to try out one of her eyeshadow palettes, but none of them like really sucked me in or drew me in. I felt like they were just, you know, like the burgundies. I have warm tone shades. The purple palette, I didn't really want a whole palette full of purples. But when I saw the Blue Honey palette, I was like, that's gorgeous. I really like the bluish green shades. I like the gold shade. You have some nice copper shades down here. So this one, I was like sucked in immediately. I wanted to get my hands on it. And I feel the same about this as I do with the Natasha Denona. Do I like this eyeshadow palette? Yes, I do. It's good, it's okay. I think I said this in my review of this palette. My friend Samantha March, when she talks about her monthly favorites, she has like a fine category. This would be in my fine category if I had one. I don't dislike it, but I don't love it. I don't feel like you need to run out and purchase it immediately, but I like it and I'm glad that I have it in my collection. But I just was expecting this to be a palette that I couldn't put down, and that didn't happen for me. And that's okay. I'm glad I got my Kylie palette. I just thought I was going to love it a little bit more. I love Maybelline mascaras. I have been all about Maybelline mascaras since high school. I used to get the Colossal. I tried the Spider Lashes, and I really liked that one, although I saw a lot of mixed reviews about that as well. Maybelline The Rocket is my all-time favorite. It's wonderful. I expected to love the Maybelline Total Temptation, but I don't. I actually don't care for this one at all. I am going to use it up and I'm going to throw it away and I'm not going to repurchase it again. but I expected to love it. And I feel like so many people on YouTube were talking about this mascara. They were raving about it. They loved it. They thought it was so good. And I love Maybelline. I'm a Maybelline mascara lover. So I thought I'm going to love it. It's going to be a go-to. It will replace Maybelline The Rocket. That's not the case. I feel like this mascara is super liquidy. Like when I apply it, if I open my eyes, like my lashes are pretty long and so they can touch the top of like my eyelid. And if I apply this and don't like look down for a little bit, if I just look up, I always end up with mascara like on the top of my eyelid, and that's not really the look I'm going for. This is the wand. It just doesn't create volume for me. Volume is what I look for because my lashes are pretty long on their own. I don't really need them to be lengthened. I feel like this maybe gave me more length and separation, but didn't give me the volume that I wanted. So unfortunately, this was a miss for me and I won't repurchase it. This next product was like a cult favorite. I feel like all of the big name YouTubers really talk about it, and I don't know if they purchase it or if they got it in PR or what, but I am talking about the Guerlain L'Or primer. It's this little guy right here, and it's a primer with gold flecks in it, and I feel like JACLYN Hill really talks about this one. I feel like Tati Westbrook talks about this one. And so I got this actually in a Play by Sephora before I discontinued my subscription, and I was so excited. I had been wanting to try it. This comes with a hefty price tag, so I had never purchased it, and I'm like, great, I get this deluxe size sample. I can find out if this is amazing and if I really want to spend the money on it. And you know what? It's good. Okay, it's good. It feels nice on the skin. I like when I put it on because it's like a jelly consistency, and so it goes onto the skin nice and smooth. It feels really cooling, but I don't know what it does. I don't know what it does. I'm wearing it today underneath my Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundation, but I don't feel like it's giving me any extra glow that any other primer doesn't. I don't feel like it extends the wear of my makeup. I don't feel like it makes my makeup stick to the skin. So this is good. I like it. If it was 20 bucks, I'd probably purchase it. I can't think of the price off the top of my head, but I'll insert it on the screen. I want to say it's like over 50 bucks though, and I'm definitely not spending 50 bucks on it. So I'm really glad I got to try it out. Because people rave about it, I had such a high expectation in my head, and I like it, but it didn't like knock my socks off. So this one won't be something that I'm gonna purchase. I love my Laura Mercier translucent powder. I do not powder my whole face. I have very, very dry skin. It can be pretty sensitive. Sometimes I struggle with eczema. So I really like the Laura Mercier. I use it underneath my eyes. I will sometimes set my T-zone. But I was like, you know what? Step outside your comfort zone, Kelly. Try something different. And a powder that I feel like I've heard a lot of people talk about on YouTube is by CoverFX. And this is just their translucent powder, the perfect setting powder is what it says on the back. And they had two shades, which is good. They had like a light shade and a darker shade, so I got the shade light. This is a product that I have heard people say, like, I have dry skin and I can set my whole face with it and it's perfect and it is wonderful. And I was really excited to try it. I'm really glad I got a mini size because I don't like this powder for underneath my eyes. I feel like it really settles in my fine lines. I have fine lines under my eyes. I feel like concealer gets stuck in there, that's a problem. But then sometimes, like my Laura Mercier powder, if I can get it in there before my concealer dries, then it helps with the creasiness. This totally settled into those fine lines. I can use this to set like other parts of my face, like I can set my forehead, I can set my cheeks, but I cannot use this underneath my eyes. So I was a little disappointed, and I mean, it's like I can still use my Laura Mercier, but I wanted to try another powder and to love it. And I heard such good things about this CoverFX primer that I was really, really excited to try it out. And so it was kind of a letdown when it didn't work for me. So I will probably use this when I feel like it if I'm setting the rest of my face, but this guy's just been kind of chilling in my drawer. Another powder that I heard people talk about, especially Kathleen Lights, and Kathleen says she has dry skin as well, It is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Pressed Powder Compact, and I got the shade Warm Light. This is just a pressed powder. I'm not really a huge pressed powder fan. I typically go for more of like the loose powders, like my Laura Mercier, but I was like, hey, if I can find a powder from the drugstore, that's amazing. It's cheaper, and I can use it when I do drugstore makeup. So I got this guy. I expected it to be amazing because Kathleen raved about it, and I saw a couple other people put it in favorites. I want to say maybe Nicole Renee Cutler had it in a favorite at one point. So I thought, great, like it's a pressed powder, which is something I don't typically reach for. It's drugstore, it's Wet n Wild, it's really cheap. And it's not that I thought that this was going to be like the best powder of life, but I did expect it to be really good, and I feel like it does nothing for me. I have tried to use this to set underneath my eyes, and I feel like I'm not getting powder off. I can see that there are brush marks in here, but I feel like I'm really like scraping away and nothing's coming off and nothing's getting put on my face. So this was definitely a miss for me. It did not meet my expectations. Another drugstore product that I wanted to love, that I had really high expectations for because people on YouTube say it's amazing, is by Flower Beauty. And this is called the Lift and Sculpt Contouring Palette. And they had a couple, maybe they only had two, but I feel like they had a couple shades. This one's light to medium, and maybe there was like a medium to dark or something like that. But it comes with a bronzer, a blush, and a highlighter. And I have heard so many people say that like this highlight is like their favorite ever, and it's amazing, and they love it so much. And so when I was purchasing for my drugstore week, which I had back at the end of March, I decided to pick this up. I wanted to try Flower Beauty. I wanted to try drugstore makeup, and it's okay. I don't really care for the bronzer. It doesn't do much for me. I do not like the blush at all. It's like a hot bubblegum pink. And the highlighter is good, but I think this was like 15 bucks, and I wouldn't pay 15 bucks just for the highlighter. So this is another product that like I would just say is okay. It's good. I'll use it when I think about it, when I reach for it, which isn't very often. I'll get use out of it, but it's not a go-to for me like I thought it would be. I was just expecting myself to love it so much more than I actually do, but it's not a bad product, and it's drugstore. So if you can't spend or don't want to spend $30 for like a Becca highlight, this'll work. I mean, it's good, it'll work for you, but I had such a high expectation that it didn't meet that. My last three products are lippies, and I was most heartbroken by this guy here. It was the Dose of Colors Desi X Katie collab. I got the lipstick in No Shade, which was the one that I think Katie created the color for because she's a little bit lighter. Desi has more of like a tan complexion. I'm pretty sure hers was more creamer please. But Desi and Katie are my favorite YouTubers for sure. I follow them on Snapchat. I'm always going to their YouTube pages to watch their videos. I'm following them on Instagram. So when they came out with a joint collab with Dose of Colors, I was super duper excited. I got the eyeshadow palette and I got the lipstick. And this is the lipstick, like I said, in No Shade. It is a nude, but it pulls very orange on me. I am a redhead. I try to stay away from things that pull orange. I feel like it does not go good with my hair color, and this nude pulls very orange on me. In the pictures that I saw, like from the campaign that Desi and Katie did, I felt like it was going to be more of a pinky nude, so I was really excited for that because I'm all about a good pinky nude. So that's what I was expecting. I was expecting pinky nude, and I was expecting it to be really creamy. This is a lipstick where if my lips are dry and I don't have a balm on, I can't wear this because it drags across my lips. And I feel like you can maybe almost kind of see on the tip of the lipstick that there are like some lines there because it tugs on my lips. It's just not creamy and buttery like I expected it to be. The shade wasn't what I expected it to be. I was really excited because I love Desi and Katie and I love a good pinky nude. This turned out to pull very peachy on me, and it wasn't the consistency that I enjoy. So I was pretty heartbroken. I wanted to love it, but I find that I actually don't ever reach for this. This was a disappointment for me. It's something that I probably would have returned if it weren't for the collab with Desi and Katie. So I'm gonna hold on to it because I still love Desi and Katie, but this just wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I am a liquid lipstick lover. If you caught my makeup habits tag video, then you know that I prefer a liquid lipstick to any other kind of lipstick. So when I saw that Maybelline was coming out with their Super Stay Matte Ink lipsticks, these are liquid lipsticks from the drugstore. They were coming out with like a whole collection that was supposed to be nudes, I'm pretty sure. I was really, really excited. I wanted to try them out. I was planning for my drugstore week, so I was like, perfect opportunity to find a drugstore liquid lip. I thought these were going to be amazing. I did not see anything bad about them on YouTube, and I think maybe that's the problem. Maybe my YouTube video watching kind of makes me feel like something is going to be so amazing and then it's a little bit of a letdown, but I feel like these lipsticks were really hyped up and I just don't love them. I feel like they kind of go on a little bit streaky, and this one here in the shade Loyalist like definitely gives me that disgusting crease on the inside of my lip that nobody likes, that looks horrible. So I always end up having to put a gloss on top of it. The colors are really pretty. See, like this color here is what I wanted the Desi and Katie collab lipstick to be. It's like the perfect pinky nude, but again, it gives me that gross butthole lip where you can see the line around your lips. This one is Lover, and I'm definitely a mauve girl, so I thought that I would love this shade, but I feel like this one kind of goes on a little bit streaky for me. You can see this is like my perfect mauve shade. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I mean, when I look at it, I can see that it's a little bit streaky. And then this one here, I got a dark shade in the shade Voyager. I really like dark wine colors, but this one is one where I have to put a lip liner underneath my lipstick. Again, I can see in person, I don't know if you can tell, but it's really, really streaky. So like I have to put a lip liner on my whole entire lip in order to be able to wear that one. So I don't reach for these at all. These were a huge miss for me. I was so excited when they were coming out because I thought they were gonna be my drugstore alternative to high-end lipsticks, but they didn't work for me. They didn't work for me. And the last products that I'm going to mention are also some lipsticks, and these are by Bite Beauty. These are called what are they called? The Amuse Bouche Liquefied Lip. Now, the reason why these did not meet my expectation is specifically because I did not understand it. It's called the liquefied lip. I thought it was going to be a liquid lipstick, so I was really excited. I actually got these for free from Influenster, and I was super excited to try them out. However, these are not liquid lipsticks. They are liquefied lipsticks. So it is a lipstick in liquid form. So that was why they didn't meet my expectations. I was just expecting them to dry down completely. I thought it was gonna be my new favorite liquid lipstick, but in fact, I get these on my teeth all the time and they smudge all around my face and they transfer, and that wasn't what I thought they were. That could be my bad. I didn't do research. When I heard that they were coming out or when I got it in my Influenster, I just assumed that it was gonna be a liquid lipstick and I was really excited for it. So here is this one in the shade Eclair. It reminds me very much of this pink shade from Maybelline, which was in Lover, except this is not going to dry down and it's not streaky. I do really like the red shade. This is definitely a nice, beautiful shade. It's in the shade Flambe, I think is how you say it. I do like this, which is surprising because I'm very specific when it comes to reds, but this one I feel like is a nice neutral red shade, so I do like that one. But again, when I wear it, I always get it all over my teeth. And then this is a unique shade in Demi Glace. It's just like a chocolate shade, and I honestly don't really reach for this one ever. Like I really don't know when I would wear that. I would have to have a specific look. Like that's just not the type of lip shade that I go for. But again, these are not bad. If you like lipsticks, if you don't mind that it transfers, if you don't mind that, you know, it's not going to dry down and be smudge proof, then you might really like these. I really love Bite Beauty as a brand. They do have some really pretty shades, but I just expected it to be a liquid lipstick, and it wasn't. That's gonna do it for this video, guys. I picked 10 products. I cheated a little bit with the Maybelline and the Bite Beauty because there were 3 of them that I had, but you know, if you ignore the fact that I had 3 in one category, I picked 10 products that just didn't meet my expectations, and I just thought that I would share that with you guys. I mean, sometimes we, or at least me, I guess I can't say we because I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel like sometimes I get so hyped up for a product and so excited about it that maybe sometimes I set myself up for failure because I expect it to be one thing and it's not. And that does not mean any of these are bad. In fact, they're all still in my collection. I haven't decluttered them. Some of them I still reach for and I still use, and they're good, they're okay. They just weren't what I expected. So I would love to hear what you guys think down below. Did you get any of these products thinking one thing and it turned out to be another? Or what are some products that you've picked up recently that like you had high expectations for and it was just different than what you thought? I would love to know your thoughts, so go ahead and leave those in the comments down below. Otherwise, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not already subscribed, please do so before you go, because I do post 2 videos a week. I post on Wednesdays and Saturdays. If you caught my Sephora and Ulta haul, then I kind of explained why I was gone for like a month, but I'm getting back into filming. I'm going to post on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and I'm going to try really hard here in the next couple of weeks to get up a 3rd bonus video on either Mondays or Tuesdays. So make sure you're subscribed. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you want to know when I'm uploading. Otherwise, that'll do it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!